What's up, everybody? We are back with another review. The last one was BO7's campaign. Terrible campaign, but if you want to watch that review, that's linked down below. Today we're talking BO7 again, but this time we are talking about multiplayer. I did a review on the beta as well. I'll link that down below also if you want to check that out and see how I felt then versus how I feel now. And also linked down below is my Twitch. At least over the next couple weeks, we'll be grinding, trying to level every gun up before Season 1 of Warzone. Getting to Master Prestige, and of course camo grinding along the way. But those two obviously take precedence for me more. But that Twitch link down below if you want to come hang out live. As of filming this review, it's Saturday, the day I'm posting this, and I'm already like 30 hours into streaming Black Ops. So we'll be doing that a lot over the next couple weeks. So Twitch is linked down below, as well as all my social medias, including my single player channel, my car, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube channel if you're into cars. But let's go ahead and get into this review. As usual, we'll go through our cons, then our so-sos, then our pros, and then we'll wrap it all up with final score, final thoughts, and a final score. And so let's go ahead and get into the cons. So first of all, footsteps. Footstep audio has almost never been a complaint for me for COD multiplayer. It's been a complaint in the different BRs, but in multiplayer, I usually think footstep audio is okay to great. This is bad. The footstep audio is, first of all, present on some maps more than other maps. And even then, it's too quiet, it's inconsistent. There is some footstep audio, but usually the high mark of footstep audio is multiplayer. And it's almost as bad as Warzone, maybe worse than Warzone, and that's really disappointing. The next is gun balance. The gun balance is not good. If you removed two top guns, then the gun balance would be much better, but the gun balance is not good. Because of it, the M15 Mod 0, the AR, is by far the best AR, and nothing really competes with it. And then the Dravic 45 is the best SMG, and not much really competes with it. So there's two guns that are completely outcompeting everything else. If you remove those two, everything is pretty competitive, and I'd like to see that fixed. In the beta, I complained about the TTK. If you take away the Dravic and the M15, I'm really not concerned with the TTK. I think it's pretty good for multiplayer at this point. So it's more of a gun balance thing than it is an overall TTK. The next is the quick search is broken. And what I mean by that is, so let's say you go into quick search and you can filter out the modes you want. And let's say you're like me, you don't want to play S&D, you don't want to play free for all. Whatever the mode with the HVT is, you don't want to play that. And I forget what the other one, I'm blanking on the other one that I normally take out. But you want to play Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed, Hardpoint Domination, and the new mode Overload. So you filter those in, you search, and then all of a sudden, either if you have a squad with you, it'll say matchmaking canceled due to squad size change, and you'll go look, and now free-for-all selected, or you'll be put into like a search and destroy match. Both those things have happened to me. And so quick search right now is currently broken when you filter it. It will randomly at times flip your filter, and the modes you filtered out will be filtered in, and the modes you filtered in will be filtered out. And that's just frustrating. Plus, it doesn't, because of the lobbies that are sticking together, which we'll talk about more, it doesn't switch up the mode. You get stuck in one mode, and sometimes you have to back out and search again. So that's not great. But it's not that big of a deal. And then the next con, and it's not that big of a deal again, is permanent builds. Now, this is more of an issue when you get into like Warzone, or if you play the end game mode or zombies. Your loadout is for a gun. Each build is its own build that's across all modes. I don't like that. It's been a thing since, was it MW3 or was it BO6? It might be BO6. I think it was BO6. Where the guns are loadout builds across all modes instead of each mode's having their own individual list. It's something that's not a big deal, but it's still something I'd like to see them stop doing. So that's the cons. Footsteps are bad. Gun balance, two guns ruin the whole gun balance. Quick search needs fixed, and permanent builds are just a bad idea. The next, on the so-sos, now this one's hard to put on a so-so because I think it's more good than it is bad, so it almost belongs on the pros. But it's the aim assist nerf, right? Aim assist has been a point of contention for years in COD. It's been a point of contention in first, especially FPS games, but just shooters in general. PvP shooters has been an aim assist debate for a long time, and it feels like aim assist has been getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And so COD decided to finally nerf aim assist. which is a good thing. It's a really good thing. You know, it adds more skill gap, which if you've watched my reviews over the year, watched my streams, I talk about skill gap here and there and how I want more skill gap, even if it hurts my gameplay experience, because it's just something that I can improve on. And when you can jump up in the skill gap, it feels more rewarding to be good at a game. But it's the way they did aim assist. Instead of lessening the strength of the aim assist, they put a range where it doesn't activate, and that's the super close range, which is where, frankly, I think you almost need it the most. And so I'm not too concerned with that. I mean, M&K players, right? They've been dealing that forever. You come up against a movement player, aim assist has helped you track the demon movement, whereas M&K, their mouse is all over and they're on their own. Well, that's kind of how it is on controller now. It feels, when you're super close range, it feels akin to when you're in smoke in Warzone. It feels like that, where there's just zero aim assist. And then that's not even my issue. The issue is how jarring it is, because once you get out to, it's like 10, 15, maybe 20 meters, it's like really strong aim assist again. In fact, in the longer ranges, they actually increased aim assist. So the way they did it is why it's in the so-sos and not the pros, where you go from absolutely no aim assist to, boom, strong aim assist. It's very jarring, and I think it will get changed, because the Call of Duty player base is mostly casuals who don't talk about Call of Duty online, and they will not like where the aim assist is. And the majority of people that do talk about Call of Duty online, or like are in Facebook groups, replying to tweets and that, are still casual players that aren't sweats. So I expect to see some more tweaking to aim assist. I think overall it's good they got a nerf. I just wish it was weak up close, or they found a way to not make it so jarring. The other so-so is doors. Now, doors are a negative. I don't like that they're still automatic doors, but I'm putting this in so-sos and not the cons, because they did remove most of the doors from the game like they said they would after the beta. And they stay open longer. You can shoot them open. So they're not absolutely horrid. I just think there should be no doors in the game at all, because I don't think Call of Duty needs doors. And so I certainly think that it's a bad idea. But I do want to give them credit for severely, severely reducing the amount of doors and making them stay open longer. And then finally, pros, graphics. I talked a lot about this in campaign. The graphics are outstanding. They get better in COD every year, even if it's only by a little bit. But these are some of the best graphics I've seen in any FPS ever. The graphics just continue to get better and better, and I'm super happy with the way this game looks. The game looks beautiful right now, especially in campaign. The cutscenes are gorgeous, but the game looks absolutely beautiful. The next are the maps. The maps, I think, are much better, much better than BO6, which is one of the big complaints about BO6. I think the maps are really beautiful, although the one Homestead where you're under the Aurora Borealis, it's a fantastic looking map. It's gorgeous. That's my probably least favorite map, because it's hard to see and it's not quite 3 lanes. But other than that, every map pretty much feels like 3 distinct lanes, like a Call of Duty map should. The visibility overall is pretty good, and I'm very happy with the maps overall. There's no truly bad maps. Homestead's not a bad map. It's just when you have all good maps, one of the maps has to be the worst, and that's the worst. But overall, I think the maps are really good. The next is the minimal SBMM. Sometimes this absolutely destroys me, where I have a horrible KD, and sometimes I'm dropping a high 3, low 4 KD. But that's the way it should be. That's the way COD should be, where sometimes you have a sub 1, sometimes you're, over 3, 4, 5 KD. And I'm just an above average player, not a sweat, not a bot, just a little above average. And that's the way I think it should be, where you can have amazing games, you can have crappy games, but overall, the experience is good that way, in my opinion. The next is non-disbanding lobbies. The lobbies stick together, which is something that used to be an old COD, and that is something that people want, because you can kind of develop these little rivalries among players. You can get competitive, and this was a way that people used to make friends in gaming before Facebook groups and Twitch streams and social media and all that. People made friends in gaming because you kept battling with somebody, and then you would add them, you'd party up, find out, hey, I like this person, or I don't like this person. And that's something that's been missing from Call of Duty, and it's good to have it back. The next one is gunplay. The guns feel excellent. There is less visual recoil than we've had the last few years, while having some more recoil on some guns. Of course, the M15 Mod 0, which I brought up earlier, has 0 recoil, which is one of the reasons why it's so good. So maybe that could get fixed, but there's not this overwhelming visual recoil or a lot of smoke, a lot of gun barrel flash. It's just good, fun gunplay that feels really good. Speaking of feeling good, the movement feels good. I like the wall bounces. I like the mantle speed. One of my complaints in the beta was the mantle speed. It's definitely better here. Tac sprint, there's a perk for it, but overall tac sprint is missing, which I think is a net positive. I think tac sprint just makes the regular sprint feel too clunky, so you're always looking for that tack sprint, and I'd rather the overall movement speed be slightly slower without tack sprint, but having a consistent movement speed feel. And I think overall the movement feels really good. Omni movement does feel good. It still can get frustrating sometimes when you accidentally slide out of cover or dive out of cover when you just want to go prone behind it. But of course, that's something that you can adjust play and get better at. But overall, I do think the movement feels really good. The next one that I wrote down was the training course. If you watch any of my reviews, you know I'm a fan of tutorials and training courses. With the Omni movement, if you skipped BO6, you need the training course because it's not something that's been in for years. But now with the wall jumping, the training course helps. I did skip it in the full game because I played it in the beta. But I do really like that there's a training course for players that are new to the franchise or players that are returning, players that skipped BO6, whatever it is. I think it's good to be able to learn how the Omni movement works and how the wall bouncing works because of that. The training course is very good to have. And then finally, there's a very small pro, but you get Nemesi in each match, where the player that you're battling it out the most with. Now, sometimes the Nemesis I don't think is great. Like, somebody could kill you 10 times and you've killed them twice and it's your Nemesis. But the ones when it's like, all right, you've killed each other 5 times each. Now 6, now 6, now 7, now 7, now 8, now 9, now still 7, oh, 8. Like, I love I like to seek out my Nemesis, and it's just something, especially with the non-disbanding lobbies, that you can build on top of, and it just makes the multiplayer experience going against one another more fun because you can have like a Nemesis. So that's all my pros. My so-sos, my cons. The cons were the footstep audio is maybe the worst I can remember in COD multiplayer in a while. The gun balance would be good, except for 2 guns completely ruin the gun balance. Quick search needs fixing. Permanent builds are always a bad idea. The so-so, the aim assist nerf overall idea is good. Execution could use some tweaking just a little bit. It's just too jarring at times. Doors under the so-sos, it's great that they removed most of the doors, made the doors open longer, but doors overall just shouldn't exist, so I can't put it... I don't want to put it in cons, I want to give them credit. I don't want to put it in pros because they just shouldn't exist at all. The pros are the graphics are great, some of the best graphics I've seen in an FPS ever. The maps overall are all really good. The worst map, Homestead, is still a good map, and a lot of that comes down to visibility and not quite being 3 lanes. The minimal SBMM is fun. The non-disbanding lobbies make multiplayer more fun and feel more competitive. Gunplay feels good. Movement feels good. Having a training course is good, and the Nemesis adds to the fun of multiplayer. So overall, I think this is, hyperbolically speaking, this COD is back. But I think this is the best COD we've had in the Warzone era so far. Now, I said the same about BO6, but I think this competes up there with Cold War, which I think has set a high bar. BO6 was really good at first, but got kind of stale. But I think right now BO7 might be the best, at least in the Warzone era. I just think it feels really good. The maps are good. The gunplay is good. The movement is fun. Overall, I'm having a blast, and it's been easy to grind the hours that I've been grinding. It's much better than the campaign. And it is the best COD we've had in a while. I much prefer the smaller arena-style shooters over Battlefield, so I would much rather play this, of course. But I don't think there's anything that Battlefield does in the smaller modes that it's doing better than Black Ops 7 right now, and I think Black Ops 7 is arguably the best FPS going right now. Of course, it did just come out, and it could get stale, and that could change. But overall, I am really loving it. The campaign I gave a 4 out of 10, spoiler alert if you haven't watched that review and you're planning it, but the campaign I gave a 4 out of 10 and that felt generous. Here I want to give multiplayer 8.5 out of 10, maybe a 9. I think it's awesome. If the gun balance was better, the footsteps were better, and they made the aim assist less jarring, we're talking 9.5. I can't give it perfect because it's hard to give a game perfect, but as it stands now, 8.5, 9. Fix those couple of things, tweak the aim assist a little bit, get rid of doors completely. We're talking 9, 9.5, leaning towards 9.5. I think it's great right now. I'm going to let the gameplay finish out behind me, but let me know what you think in the comments down below, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you like this type of content. Game reviews, that is. Warzone, Apex, maybe RedSec in the future. Like I said, game reviews. Hit the notification bell if you want to be able to see that first. But I will see you in Black Ops 7 multiplayer. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.
Enemy control station overloaded. Located new overload device.
Vital signs null.
The way the dog runs is so cute. I don't care what they say.
New overload device. device on the field. Get there first.
Scalpel standing by.
We have the EMP.
Scalpel activated.
Over assignment.
Preliminary success in range. Keep
Authorizing
it tight.
viewer flight.
EMP successfully delivered.
Deploying viewer on your target.
Release dog on my location.
EMP device ready. Picked up the device.
Nice.
You are catching
Play the
eyes
game
over
again.
here.
Play the game again. Best play. Best play.
Performance data for analysis.
Let's go. 2 in a row, baby.
Scout pulse running.